Let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually owned the movie that you were watching?
I don't know.
I'm not talking about streaming it on Netflix or buying it on Amazon. I mean owning it. Something that you can hold, a disc, a case, a permanent part of your movie library that won't vanish the moment a studio executive hits delete. Because here's the truth. Streaming has lied to us. They sold us on convenience and access and the idea that we'd never have to worry about scratched DVDs or clunky Blu-ray players again. But instead, we've traded ownership for a license. We were sold the illusion of control when in reality we gave it all away. We handed the keys of the film vault over to a platform that can lock the door whenever they want.
We can't open this door, can we?
The door? No.
I mean, think about it. Movies can now be edited, censored, or even quietly removed without your permission. Your favorite childhood classic is just one policy change away from being too problematic and gone forever. You don't own it. You're just borrowing it until someone decides that you shouldn't have it anymore. On top of that, physical media is slowly disappearing from stores. Rental houses, Best Buy, Target, everywhere is getting rid of their physical media so that your only option is a streaming service. And that's why today we're talking about why physical media still matters now more than ever. Let's dive in. So you just bought a movie on Amazon or Apple TV, right?
Nope.
Actually, you bought a license to stream that movie, and that license can be revoked, edited, or completely removed without your permission. Remember whenever people bought Disney's Inside Out digitally only to find it missing years later? Or when iTunes removed purchased movies from users' libraries with zero refund or explanation? That's the reality of digital ownership. You don't technically own anything. If you can't touch it, and if you can't disconnect from the internet and still watch it, then you don't really own it. You're just renting a ghost, and one day that ghost might just disappear. We've entered an era where stories can be rewritten or erased entirely, and we're just too comfortable to notice. And that's exactly what's happening. Streaming services once bragged everything, anywhere, anytime, but now they're gutting their own libraries faster than you can finish a miniseries. Westworld, a massive HBO original, was just gone, removed from Max and unavailable to purchase. The same happened with Willow, a high-budget Disney Plus show that vanished less than a year after release. And don't forget the original Marvel Netflix shows Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, all wiped from Netflix and held hostage in Disney's content shuffle. We used to worry about scratched DVDs, but now we have to worry about an entire show being completely erased or moved to another platform.
Are you serious?
And here's the fine print that nobody reads. Every time you hit buy on a digital platform, you're agreeing to the terms that gives them all the control.
No. I don't believe it.
Thanks to DRM, or Digital Rights Management, your purchase is locked behind a server, behind a password, and behind the platform's continued existence. They can change the content, they can censor scenes, they can make it disappear altogether. It's like buying a house, but the realtor can just walk in anytime and repaint the walls and evict you without notice. And what's worse, we've normalized this. But let's just rewind for a second. When streaming first took off, we trusted it. It felt like the future. And believe me, I also was super excited. We said goodbye to cable bills, discs, and shelves full of movies. Netflix felt like a gold mine. But now, subscription prices are going up, content is going down, ads are creeping in even for paying users. And services are fragmenting harder than the Avengers finale. You want to watch Spider-Man? Cool, that's on Disney+. Well, except No Way Home, which is on Starz, but The Amazing Spider-Man, well, that's on Prime, for now. So now we're paying more for subscriptions to get less, with more headaches, and again, these can be moved around or completely removed without your permission.
I am so confused right now.
Let's talk quality. If you think you're watching 4K on Netflix, think again. Streaming services compress video and audio to save bandwidth. What you're actually watching is a watered-down version of the movie, full of artifacts, crushed blacks, and weak surround sound. You can really see this if you start to watch anything that takes place at night. It looks muddy and compressed, even on a 4K TV. Compare that to a Blu-ray or 4K UHD disc, and the difference is mind-blowing. You get 100 megabytes per second bitrate, true Dolby Atmos, uncompressed detail, and in short, it's a theater-level experience. If you're a filmmaker or someone who spent money on a good TV, why settle for the cheap version? On top of that, we have to talk about legacy. There are films that don't exist anywhere online. Niche horrors, forgotten classics, indie gems, all preserved only on DVD, Blu-ray, or even VHS. Streaming platforms aren't designed to preserve film history, they're designed to chase algorithms. In fact, many titles vanish permanently because studios don't think that they're worth the storage cost. Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist? Gone. Song of the South? Yeah, good luck with that one. Early Criterion titles, indie projects, or older black and white movies that I fell in love with as a kid are only available on out-of-print discs. But here's where it starts to get dark. Streaming services have started editing content after release and without telling anyone. Disney Plus censored The French Connection without warning. HBO Max has re-edited violence in Looney Tunes, Death Proof, Splash, tons of Simpsons jokes, and of course we've lost track of how many times Star Wars has been altered to death. That's why I have the despecialized editions, and it clearly shows that Han shot first.
Yes, I bet you have.
When you stream, you're trusting studios to respect artistic integrity. And spoiler alert, they don't. Physical media is a time capsule. It preserves the original intent and it doesn't change with the cultural wind. Most people today say that physical media is nothing more than nostalgia, but I would say it's not nostalgia, it's preservation. Remember the days when you would walk into a Blockbuster and find movie titles that you knew nothing about, turn it over and read the synopsis on the back? Those were some of my favorite memories growing up. To go home with a stack of movies that you just couldn't wait to watch. Now we simply click the button and the movie is in our false library. Now listen, I get it. Streaming is convenient. Press a button and boom, it's movie night. But convenience can also make us passive. We scroll endlessly, pick something random, then forget what we watched the next morning. It's consumption without commitment. It's just media on shuffle. It's disposable entertainment. Many times it takes longer to surf through endless titles to try to find something that looks interesting. And if we see something sort of appealing, we look it up on Rotten Tomatoes to see if it's even worth our time. Physical media asks you to choose, to commit, to take the movie off the shelf, open the case, and hit play. It turns your evening into an experience. That's not less convenient, that's intentional. For me, I love watching my kids look through all of our movies, pulling them off the shelf and asking if they can watch this one. Sitting down on the couch as a family, popping some popcorn and watching a movie that I know will never be taken away. To see the look on their faces when they know it's movie night is worth every penny of buying a physical product. Not a digital code, not a license, and not a movie that says it will be leaving next week, but a piece of art and entertainment that will stand the test of time. But let me ask you this. If streaming vanished tomorrow, how many movies do you still have? Building a physical library isn't just about nostalgia, it's about security. It's about creating a personal archive that no corporation can touch. You don't need thousands of titles, just the ones you love, the ones that matter, the ones you'd be devastated to lose. There's real joy in holding your favorite film, in flipping through your shelf and finding exactly what you're in the mood for. That's something that no algorithm can offer. And there's also a joy in finding physical media that you don't own yet. Or going to a yard sale and finding a bunch of Blu-rays to add to your home library. It's not an inconvenience, it's a security. Of course, the main question is always, is streaming dying? And the answer is no. But it is starting to crack. Services are merging, folding, or even disappearing. Quibi is already a punchline, HBO became Max, Disney Plus is losing subscribers, and Starz is on life support. Studios are prioritizing quantity over quality. And when the system collapses, what do we have left? That's why physical media matters. It's not just about collecting discs, it's about protecting cinema itself. Because if we don't, then the films we love, the ones that shaped us, might quietly disappear. And when we finally look for them, they'll be gone. So yeah, streaming told us that we could have everything, but it didn't tell us it could also be taken away. And if you love movies, like really love movies, then you owe it to yourself to build a collection that can't be deleted. Because in a world where entertainment is rented, rotated, and rewritten, physical media is nothing short of rebellion. If you want to become the kind of filmmaker who preserves the art and not just chase trends, then Tomorrow's Filmmakers is where you need to be. It's our award-winning online film academy with over 1,200 training videos, 120 hours of content, and real-world lessons on directing, cinematography, editing, lighting, screenwriting, and more. We've helped over 40,000 students all over the world, and you can join them today with a lifetime membership for just $97. Whether you're just starting your filmmaking journey or looking to level up your skills, head on over to tomorrowsfilmmakers.com and take your next step in the film industry. Because filmmaking isn't just about keeping up, it's about creating something that lasts.